We started with 24 players. We are now down to 2. It's the final of the World Pool Masters. David Alcaide against Alexander Kazakis.
What a performance! The crowd are totally engaged. They're loving this.
I made the 8-ball position to the 9 is very good. Say, okay, now I win. I go to the final.
And there it is. A very clear scoreline, 8-1 for Alex Kazakis, who advances to the final.
I'm watching this tournament like when I was a teenager, when I started playing pool. So I will be really satisfied if I'm gonna win it, and really blessed.
Our first finalist in the World Pool Masters is David Alcaide. And David Alcaide is up against Alexander Kazakis.
All of the preliminaries are over. We've had 22 matches completed. One more remains. The most important match, the final of the Dafabet World Pool Masters. Will it be King David or Alexander the Great?
First rack, race to 9, winner breaks. David Alcaide to break.
Race to 9, the crowd favorite. Alcaide to break, he's won the leg. Wouldn't Kazakis love to be a spoiler tonight? Don't think he has shape on the 1 ball.
The music was blaring out. The cheers were
Push out cold.
loud all around the arena. But now, battle has commenced. It's silent.
He'll bring the cue ball to the short rail. Can use the 3 ball to get there. Testy shot. But a little more distance between the cue ball and the rail than what Alcaide intended, I assume. Half ball hit. Yeah, sometimes you need to play a shot that you don't feel that well. You're committed to taking it on for what it's worth. It would have been a rack winner. And to show that you're ready to attack and to take risks. Enough distance between the 1 and the rail to stick it, to hit rail first with the right spin. The only thing there is that that 2-ball is very big. It'll be easy to stick the cue ball, but he would like to avoid the 2 if he opts to play that shot. With left spin. Put it on the sweet spot.
You saw Alcaide grimace when he played the previous safety. With the 6 as the blocker, he really should have got the hook there. He didn't, and now he's the one trying to be defensive.
Yes, very difficult type of kick shot. Very difficult to play something with the future there. A lot here depends on the thickness of the hit on the 1. Hit it thin, and therefore the cue ball a wee bit fast, but luckily for Kazakis, it just stops in time. It's more of an angle than he wanted, but at least he can stroke it normally. Not impeded by the 3. Now he'll play position for the 3-6 combination, and we can see that that 6-ball is not frozen to the rail. And it gives him just that bit more leeway. Doesn't matter if he hits the rail first or the 6. Would be difficult to miss this combination.
Looking good now. He's looked good from the word go. A seeded player, so he's won 3 matches to be in this final for the loss of only 5 racks in total. He beat Justin Sage 7-3, Matt Edwards 7-1, Skylar Woodward also for the loss of only 1 rack.
Yeah, I spoke with Carl during the previous match about his preference, if he would prefer to play the first or the second semi-final. My preference would be the second semi-final, because then you get a 10-minute break and you can continue. I think now could work in his favor. Having come from a 8-1 demolition of Skylar Woodward, he's right back in it.
That victory wasn't a shock. Kazakis well capable of beating anyone, but the margin of victory most certainly was. Must give him an enormous boost.
Yeah, when he ran that 3-pack, 3 break and runs, when he ran away the first half of the match, there he had open layouts, road maps, if you call it. But in the latter phase of the match, to close it out, he really had to come with good shots.
Extension called.
He created opportunity.
Taking his extension here, being circumspect, even though the 8-9 combination looks simple. No need to take any risks. Be precise. Be on the mark. Alexander Kazakis draws first blood. He leads David Alcaide by a rack to 0. Trying to become the first Greek player to win the World Pool Masters, Nikos Economopoulos came very close 5 years ago in Nottingham, England, losing in the final to Shane Van Boning 8-2. That was the shot that got Kazakis in the opening rack.
Worrying times for Alcaide, because I think he'll have seen some fragments of Kazakis semi-final. But he had that break down from the right side on most occasions, getting a shot on the one.
Thank you, rack 2. Alex Kazakis to break, leading 1 rack to 0.
He's breaking medium hard. Hardly any body movement. And a slight cut on the one ball, driving the cue ball to the rail. Full on the face. Oh yeah, almost a golden break.
It would have been only the 3rd of the entire tournament.
I came awfully close. If you're playing, that's one of the nicest ways to make a 9-ball break, where you squat the cue ball, the 9 doesn't move, and then gets kicked from behind. It's actually the nicest if it comes back to you and goes in the corner pocket.
The one here will cut past the orange 5-ball.
With a lot of side spin. And it's fortunate leave. So he did find the route for the cue ball. It was pretty tight in between the 8 and 9. So I always think that if the cue ball was good, but the pot was missed, then the picture that the player had in his head
Extension
about
call.
the shot and how to play it wasn't correct. If the route for the cue ball and the point of contact on the object ball, and they were not compatible. Quick glance at the 5-ball, and then the shake of the head. I think Kazakis sees enough of the one, more than enough.
Second chance to pot it. The final has not begun well for Alcaide. Very early stages
Extension
yet, though.
call.
The extension called because Kazakis has identified this as being the crunch shot of the rack.
Good shot there. Oh, good shot. I meant camera shot of his feathers, his warm-up strokes. That was way off. Missed that by a surprising large margin.
2 attempts at the 1-ball, both of them undercut. The one grossly.
Again, a fortunate leave for the Greek. Now the easiest safety here would be to hit the right side of the one. Send the cue ball towards the 8 and 9. The 1-ball and the cue ball towards the 3. Attempted the pot. Wants to force the issue maybe, or didn't feel that he could control the speed of the 2 balls, the 1 and the cue ball on that safety shot.
And this time, in one sense at least, he doesn't get away with it. The one is available for Alcaide.
Semi-final between Kazakis and Woodward had the same opening, with chances missed and opportunities going back and forth. Alcaide be warned after that opening phase. Kazakis ran away with it. Back cutting the 1 towards the 8 and 9. It's a big target. As soon as the cue ball had hit the long rail, Kazakis knew he'd be coming awfully close to pocketing that 3. Awfully close, but not. Needs to go right past the 8 ball. Nice hit. It was a good shot by Alcaide. Hasn't left anything easy, but he has left something. Now the only thing that Kazakis could do wrong here is to overcut the 2-3 combination, so that after sinking the 3, the 2 would head towards the 9.
Remember, twice missed that 1 ball, Alex, and yet it looks as though he's done no damage.
Try and avoid the 9. Or go into it, half ball hit with the right spin. That's the tricky bit of that type of shot. You want to come back to the 5, so subconsciously often you'll hit it a bit harder. But by hitting it harder, you're contacting the 9 thicker, slowing down the cue ball.
Examination of cueing this, especially jacking up and hitting down on the cue ball. So one aspect of the shot was completed. Okay, the pot itself, but he wanted to get more action into the white.
He can cut it. Can also bank it. He can attack the 9. A variety of shots available, but none of them easy. This is gonna travel. And it stops just in time. Crawling closer to the money ball. It's not coming easy. Doesn't exactly have that cue ball on a string yet. He's going back and forth between the cue ball and the 9.
Alexander Kazakis, the pride of Greek pool, takes a 2-0 lead over David Alcaide. Twice he missed the one ball. On both occasions, it ran kindly for him. And remarkably, that takes Kazakis' frames won lost record in this tournament. 24 racks won, 5 racks lost.
He wouldn't be the youngest winner ever, but that could be a record in itself. It could prove hard to beat in the coming years. If, of course, he goes on to win it.
Just in comparison, David Alcaide's racks won lost record is also impressive. He's played 4 matches as a non-seed. He's won 29 racks. Now he's lost 14.
Breaking in the third.
Okay, rack 3, Alex Kazakis to break, leading 2 racks to 0.
And that's pressure, really. It's not a simple shot, the break, but he mishit that one ball by quite a margin. It's all due to pressure, intensity out here, and his urge to push on from the 2-0 lead. Jacking up. Oh, that's a bad roll. It's brave to take that shot on. He did good to get the cue ball back.
Start the clock, please.
For positional and safety reasons. But this just sheer misfortune.
And for a whole variety of reasons, this final is beginning to resemble the semi-final. So much went right for Alexander Kazakis in so many ways against Woodward, and exactly the same is going on in the title match.
Make hay while the sun shines, I say.
Yes, on that same theme, when you've got them down, keep them there.
Good thing for David that this is race to 9. Sensitive speed control here. And that for me would add to my confidence. A simple shot, but landing on the sweet spot helps to augment my rhythm, or his rhythm. The scratch on the one ball by David Alcaide. He was forced with a very tough shot. He took it on, he missed. Cue ball found the pocket, and that's what Kazakis needed to clinch the third. To extend his lead, he's up 3-0. We'll take a break. We'll be back with the fourth to see if he can continue his run.
Thank you, rack 4. Alex Kazakis to break, leading 3 racks to 0.
The story of the Dafabet Whirlpool Masters final so far, AK is okay. He's played 20 racks here today and lost 2 of them. And let me tell you, his game has not been watertight. The vagaries of 9-ball pool.
He's had the time during the commercial break to think about his upcoming break. The last one was not good. But this one is. Is it now? Look at the cue ball and the 1. And yes, he has a difficult position on the 2. It's workable. Now positioning the cue ball below the 2 to play it up table. He can. But it's difficult to position the cue ball perfectly, and if it's not set up perfectly, the shot on the 2 would be very difficult. I like him from this angle to go into the 2-6. Jackpot.
Yes, it's a partisan crowd here, but it's a very fair one as well. They should be applauded there for applauding Kazakis because it was a fine shot.
Beautiful slow-mo. And it's a little
Extension
off
call.
his line on the 2 ball, off to the left. Left meaning for the cue ball to get away from the 3. Going forward is difficult. Needs to hit it pinchy. Can't follow through too much. Using on that 2 ball the full width of the pocket, helping him to stay as close as possible to the cherry. The red.
Again, looking good. Yet again, looking good.
Yeah, the only difference between this match so far in the semi-final is that Woodward got the first rack on the board. But the pattern was the same. Some mistakes, some misses. And then suddenly having that cue ball on a string. Or an elastic band ran a bit too far. Good shot.
You can only think the previous positional shot was the product of adrenaline. He's got that coursing through his veins, Alexander Kazakis, because another rack is on his side of the ledger. Look at this scoreline, entirely one-sided, even though the exchanges haven't been. Kazakis 4, Alcaide 0. It was a pretty good break, but we all know the shot that was key. The one that opened up the table for him. The positional shot onto the 2. Thereafter, Not saying it was plain sailing. Nothing is in a final of this enormity. But he took them pretty well, apart from an iffy positional shot onto the 8, which he counted anyway.
I think if you play on a demanding level, and what a demanding level is depends on your own skill level, of course. But for him in this match, you know, what you look for is to be solid, and then here again, 2 times 5 minutes, to be like peaking.
Thank you, rack 5.
To hit a nice gear for
Alex
a rack
Kazakis to
or
break,
2,
leading
3.
4 racks to 0.
And at this point, what you need is to be relentless and ruthless. Just power on.
Power on, yeah, keep the focus. Don't lose the cue ball on the break. Can't hit it too thin. Would be a wasted opportunity with that corner ball flying in so easily if you hit it full enough. 9 balls wild. Forget about the 9, look at the 1. He's putting on a clinic here. I love an angle like this. You can go to that second rail and come in towards your next shot. Ooh. Oh, this is, I tell you, if you're in the chair being his opponent, it's best tormenting. Because he gave the impression there that he had overhit it. Well, he did. But he made me think he wasn't going to get shape on the 4.
Extension called.
Well, he cut it fine, but he's okay.
He can play it soft, hold it, or punch to the rail to come out. That's fine. I see some gloomy faces in the audience. Their man, Alcaide, is not getting opportunities. He's not getting to the table even.
But that's the glorious unpredictability of sport. You never know what's going to happen. And in this case, although it's an away fixture for Kazakis, he's looking very much at home. Yes, disconsolate in general.
Using the full pocket. This is an interesting position. You know, if you're striking the ball smooth and you're feeling good, you can play a stop shot. But if you try a stop shot and miss-hit it by a little bit, that cue ball is going to get away from you. Almost. Like half a millimeter thinner on the 8 and he wouldn't have had a shot on the 9.
Across the cushion. It's one direction, and it's going very much in the direction of Alexander Kazakis. 5-0 ahead. 2 break-in run-outs in succession. He's tightening his grip on this Whirlpool Masters title. David Alcaide so far has drawn a blank. This was the decisive 9-ball. More than halfway now to victory in a match with significant implications. Just before the start of the final, we discovered that Skylar Woodward and Shane Van Boening had been picked again for the USA in the Mosconi Cup in late November in Las Vegas. Historically, if you're a European or an American and you win the World Masters, your ticket is pretty much booked to that event. There have been exceptions, most recently Karol Skawerski, the winner in Poland on home soil in 2012. He didn't make the team, but generally speaking, you're Mosconi Cup bound. So it's not just about the trophy, the title, or the 25,000 US dollars on offer tonight.
Break, leading
it's
5
about
racks to 0.
much more, wider implications.
Striking just a bit left on the cue ball. Three ball. He sees it. Doesn't look like he sees it full enough to be able to cut it in the side pocket, but that bit of frustration visible there with Kazakis was because of his mishit on the one. Did not hit the one thick enough. Can certainly bank the 3-ball in the side pocket, but it's not sitting so nicely. Can cross it, he could stiff it. And that shot, the way he attacked the 3-ball, he tried to cross the 3-ball. If playing like that, you want the 3-ball to open the angle. And for that, he hit it too hard. Open the angle, I mean, when you cut the ball like this, due to collision-induced throw, I think the technical term is, the 3-ball picks up a bit of right spin. Vamos!
Let's think back to the quarterfinals. He was 3-0 down against Shane Van Boening. He then won the next 7 racks in succession. He would love to do something similar here. And journeys of 1,000 miles start with one small step.
It's good for the match if he would make some sort of a comeback. Can go really fast, Phil. Even 5-1, 5-2, 6-2, 6-3, 6-4. That would be good enough. But the extended seat treatment granted by Kazakis is taking its toll. Stuck on the rail.
Horrible shot to have to play.
Oh, almost straight in. Nice. This is not a whole lot easier. like it. I like how he hit that shot. This angle on the 8, if he draws, cue ball can get away from him a bit, track towards the side pocket. Big strides and good strokes. The long-awaited first rack for Alcaide is nigh.
It most certainly is. Hard to say when you're trailing 5-1, you're feeling good, but David Alcaide is certainly feeling a whole lot better, and so are his supporters here at the Tercentenary Hall in Gibraltar. Is that the start of a fight back? 5-1 Kazakis in this race to 9. More Whirlpool Masters final coming up shortly.
Thank you, rack 7. David Alcaide to break, trailing 1 rack to 5.
Over the last 3 days here in Gibraltar, we've seen intensive pool. One more issue to be determined. Who is going to be crowned champion? And David Alcaide, his stock has just risen a little, but he needs sustained success.
Yeah, same break as Kazakis has been implementing. But no fortune. No reaction either. Don't complain, just get on with it. Work hard. Put yourself in a position to get lucky. And most of the times in a longer race, a race to 9, it will come back.
Push out call.
Difficult push. I don't know if he has a shot to kick from behind the 1 ball and send the 1 in this direction and get the cue ball there. I'm not saying this is a bad push out, but he had a position to do something with. Now he's giving Kazakis an option. A long cut shot. He has attempted a couple of those in this match. In the beginning, without success.
Yes, on this 1 ball, and on both occasions, undercut they were. Caught too thickly.
Eight balls on the table. If you get them to move, you have a chance to get lucky. And that's the reason why he attacked the shot. Was certainly not sure to make it. But he was sure that he put himself in a position to get lucky if he were to miss the shot.
Extension called.
It's cuttable. The 1. The cue ball will collide with the 5, it seems. Good shot. Spun it in. It's tricky to try and get closer to the 4. Just bumped the 9 out. Nicely judged. Wasn't straightforward. The judgment of the amount of backspin to hold that cue ball. Key shot. Held his nerve. The cut on the 1 and the shot on the 3 were more difficult. But those longer roll shots, always a blood test. Broke down a bit during the execution. He can follow the ball, short rail, long rail, then go towards center table for a cut on the 7. He can land on the low side of the 7 or force draw twice across this. Even if he didn't get there, I still like that shot. But again, he broke down during the stroke. I mean, to really get that arc on the ball, you need to follow through with a lot of intent. Nice, but still, he's on the rail again. How many of those crunch shots can he come with?
After a bank like that, he deserved better positionally. This is a real knee knocker.
Clean as a whistle. This man hits center ball all right.
Crowd in good voice there. He is proving tenacious. We expected nothing less. At 5-0 though, they were very worrying times for David Alcaide. Still not out of the woods, we're not saying that. But suddenly, he's feeling it a lot more. Alexander Kazakis has been confined to his chair for a while. And the vibe of the match is twisting around.
Yeah, pure potting pilferage by David Alcaide. Really great shot he's made.
I think, taking into consideration the pressure out there, the 8 ball from under the rail was my personal pick of the bunch. And after that, the 9 was pretty much a certainty. So needs to keep it going.
He'll get it. I say he's going to get shape on the 1. I'm not clairvoyant, but I just have a hunch. His previous break was good. The 4 ball, a spoiler. Copy the speed, copy the thickness of the hit on the 1, and percentages are in his favor.
Rack 8. David Alcaide to break.
There's an interested
Train 2 racks to
spectator.
5.
Quarter-finalist here, New Zealand's Matt Edwards.
Claro que sí. Dat he sees the 1 ball.
He called it, Alex. There it is. Fate.
It's percentages. But of course you need to be able to repeat the stroke, repeat the speed. For me, this the best feeling in the game. When you're losing in the score, but chasing the other player and starting to feel good. Your own energy and confidence surging. Being aware that your opponent is feeling it. Not ideal. Can't punch this unless he gets to the right side of the 5. Don't see him do that. Didn't come out enough to get back from the 6 to play the 7 to the corner, so he'll need to stay somewhat close to the long rail and play the 7 to the side. He's addressing low. Don't know what exactly he was trying to do there. He had an angle on the 6 towards the long rail and did not look like an attempt to bump it out. My kick alarm would go off now.
It really is a ticklish pot, and he's had a couple of these actually that have stayed out because he's at the near jaw, undercutting them.
Well, he made sure it didn't roll off. A lot of bottle, this man. And very sound technically, which of course helps. Nervy stuff out there. Every shot a pint of blood.
Stretching over like that, sometimes your alignment can be compromised. It wasn't for David Alcaide, centre cut on the 9-ball. And this recovery gathers momentum. Alexander Kazakis, remember, was 5-0 ahead. Everything in his garden was rosy. Now, though, a few plants are dying off. It is 5-3.
Yeah, all this started after Kazakis' break when he had that shot on the 3-ball. He attempted a cross-side bank shot. Missed it by some margin and left it hanging in the opposite side pocket. And from there, this man got going slowly, but he's shifting gear, it seems.
Trying to become the 5th multiple winner of the Whirlpool Masters. That looked a very forlorn hope at 5-0 down. Now, not so. The other players to have won this on more than one occasion. From Germany, Thomas Engert. From America, Shane Van Boening. From Holland, Niels Feyen. And the record 6-time winner from Germany also, Ralph Souquet. That's a good group to emulate.
Yeah, they're Kaiser, a 6-time winner. Ralph and David Alcaide are pretty close. They've played together on a team in the German Bundesliga for years. They've traveled together.
Okay, rack 9.
can imagine
David Alcaide to break. Train
There's
3
been
racks
some
to 5.
messaging back and forth. 1 ball. Speedy enough. The 3 ball. Spoiling. Covered by half of the 3 ball. Taking out his jump cue. Kazakis has attacked some difficult 1 balls. Trusting also on a bit of fortune. 8 balls on the table. It's not set.
Extension called.
If he'd missed his 1.
A smattering of applause, but I think the majority of the crowd aren't quite sure what damage has been done.
Well, the 1 ball pots. And
Extension
only
called.
by striking downward with a bit of backspin off of the 3, you could get the cue ball back to the 2. That will add to the difficulty of the shot. He's hitting high on the cue ball. Wasn't there, at least not for him, not like that. Missed it by a margin. 3, 8 and 2. Possibly even the 7, the helping hands. Good speed. And a good position with that 9 ball. This normally would be the easiest route, but it's blocked. From here, oh, excuse me, he needs to play it with a lot of draw.
Contact made, but chance afforded. Golden chance afforded.
It's an aggressive game, 9 ball. With a luck factor. On a couple of occasions in this match, the person attacking the 1 ball, missing the 1 ball, eventually ended up winning the rack. Must feel for Alcaide like a little breeze in the summer, the way these balls are positioned. Finally, I wanted to say, he can speed up a bit. And pick up a bit of rhythm, but there, a lapse of concentration. All of a sudden, in a difficult position. a cut shot and a lot of ground to cover for the cue ball. Needs to come around the 8 ball. Needs legs. And he's got it. Great recovery shot.
The crowd collectively holding their breath as the white travelled on and on towards the 8, and then thankfully for them past the 8.
Didn't get into that. Or simply didn't strike it low enough. No other option than to roll it in and leave himself a cut shot on the 9. Or is he forcing this? I like that. I like that. Even though he ended up short on the 9, I like his approach and his mindset. He was fed up with slow rolling and leaving himself difficult. Wanted to play the shot with more oomph.
This could be a massive moment in this final.
Well, he's lucky. 9 out of 10 times hitting that shot thick. It'll go up table, it'll be exposed, but he hit the knuckle. Five missed pots for Kazakis and still up 5-3. Imagine that. Straight back. To his right.
Watch out, watch out. There is a fluke of outs. Unbelievable. This man has got the Midas touch. He's been very, very, very fortunate. And that could be a transformational moment. Admittedly, Alcaide missed the 9 ball. But what a fluke from Kazakis. 6-3. If ever music didn't hit the spot, it was the one that was played between racks there. Good times never seemed so good was played. You looked at David Alcaide's face, I think he would completely disagree. That was the 9 ball he missed. But what happened next? You couldn't possibly script it. Look at this. Up and down the table, into the pocket it went. Alexander Kazakis, one very fortunate individual who now leads this Dapperbet World Pool Masters final by 6 racks to 3.
Yeah, body blow there to David Alcaide. It was due to his own mistake on the 9, of course. But still painful. Some pool playing will be done to get a first crack at potting the 1 ball. It's not straightforward, this. Left side of the 1, getting that cue ball back to rails. I don't like it because the 1 ball will be in the right hand zone in front of the corner. He'd be playing only to get coverage behind the 7. I would prefer to bank it than down table. Got it. Need nerves of steel, if you ask me, to play that type of shot.
Also, Alex, great crowd here. One has to give them every credit. Yes, most of them want Alcaide to win, but they've been respectful to his opposition.
Attention called.
Clapping when he plays a good shot. It's great to see.
Some Spanish fans have driven over 1,000 kilometers to get here. Oh, oh, oh. It's always difficult to read the deflection of the cue ball if you're coming in so flat on the rail. Needs to avoid Kazakis, the 8 ball. And he's fine. More than fine, he's perfect. A bit straightish on the 2. So he can not play topspin with left. Needs to punch it a bit more out, the cue ball. A little bit lower. Or playing rail first. Needing less speed like that.
He's a cheery fellow, Alexander Kazakis, liked by his fellow players. Good attitude. And as I said, in his very first match in this tournament, he's one of those guys who play sport for a living, and I think he fully appreciates what he does. He basically loves his lifestyle.
Yeah, very nice guy to be around. Can get his upgrade today. If he wins his final, he'll go from dark horse to stalwart. All due to that good safety. The safety where I said, oh, it's dangerous, it's risky. He can't sell out. He could sell out, but he didn't. He forced a mistake. People at home will be in front of their screens to see how he wins the 11th.
Plenty of support here. It's a partisan crowd, but it's not completely against Alexander Kazakis by any means. He leads 7-3. That means the Greek needs 2 more racks to win the whole shebang and a first prize of $25,000 US. Smiling, and that's something he does a lot. The kind of 9 ball you want when the pressure is as intense as this.
Yeah. Big swings. Alcaide missed the 9 in rack 9. And instead of going 5-4, a comeback from a 5-0 deficit, It went 6-3, then a break and run. No, not a break and run, but a break, a great save, and then a run by Kazakis.
Just thinking, Alex, you know, been 20 years since you captured this title, beating the legendary Efren Reyes in the final. When you're on the verge, what were the emotions?
I got this. I was down 6-3. In the booklet it says I won 7-5, I believe, but it was 6-3 for Efren, and then I made a comeback of 1-9-7.
Kazakis to break.
Which is in a way easier, being an underdog making the comeback, because the crisis is at the beginning. You know, often you'll see an underdog starting out good, being up 6-3, but then getting nervous, having trouble to finish it off, and then being packed back.
Well, again, in terms of result, the break is okay. In went the 3 on the wing. But the 1 is doing Kazakis no favours.
He can't complain, he's had a good day. Can bank the 1 towards the 7, or even attack it. Playing the bank, his cue ball tracks towards the 6. So either a thinner bank towards the 7 and try to get behind the 6 with the cue ball, or play it as a shot to nothing.
Extension called.
So attack the straight back bank on the 1, in between the 2 and 7. Yeah, this is what, you know, if you attack the bank, you either need to play it with speed, come around the 6, or with check side to stay away from the 6. A glimmer of hope for David Alcaide. 2 rails. 4 rails. That would be something.
Foul shot. Ball in hand.
Never say die attitude. That's what you need in this game.
Start the clock, please.
The way many sets in 9-ball evolve, the way good rolls and bad rolls play a part in this game. You need to be able to take a couple of hits and then bounce back. Never say die.
Extension called.
This isn't a complex shot, but I think the extension was called just to give David Alcaide time to assess the entire situation and not just this single shot. Sometimes when you get a ball in hand like this, it's an embarrassment of riches in terms of the choices you have.
Not happy. Too much of an angle. Players prefer to punch the ball. And for that, he had too much angle. Courting danger, hitting that knuckle first.
looks as though the self-imposed snooker that Kazakis placed himself in is going to be somewhat expensive.
Yeah, for now. But who knows what's going to happen next. I haven't kept track, I haven't done the statistics, but I feel like Alcaide is due some position after the break for a record 2. Last 9 ball was missed by this man.
It was. This one, though, is a simpler proposition. David Alcaide resolute. He will not give up without one almighty scrum. Desperate to repeat as World Pool Masters champion 2 years after originally getting his name engraved on this oh so coveted trophy. Kazakis sees his lead slightly eroded to 7-4.
Thinking about that position. The lesson comes after the exam. Exasperation from the Greek. And so Alcaide through the back door, trying to get a foothold in this match.
When he triumphed in 2017, it went down to the very last rack. He beat Jason Shaw 8-7. Alexander Kazakis wants to see this one put to bed well before that.
I always like a hill-hill match. Let's have it.
Okay, rack 12. David Alcaide to break. Trailing 4 racks to 7.
Needs the 1 ball. Gets the 1 ball. But it's a very thin cut.
Yes, off the break, the 3 and the 4 were sunk.
Can hit this with a high ball, going in between the 6 and 8 to the short rail. Strong shot. One of the best shots on the 1 in this match. Won 3 on the spin from 5-0 to 5-3. Could and should have been 4. But he needs more of that, more of the same. Putting packs together. Strike down low on the cue ball, come out 2 rails towards the 8. Deep enough to never come behind the 8. Doesn't want to be good enough on the 8, he wants to be perfect. it is. He's gaining momentum. This is going to be a break and run.
For the second time in this intriguing contest, the gap narrows. The Spanish here are loving this. David Alcaide refusing to give up the ghost. Alexander Kazakis now leads, but only by 7 racks to 5. The final of the Dapperbet World Pool Masters is living up to expectations.
Thank you, rack 13. David Alcaide to break, trailing 5 racks to 7.
Whenever you come to a tournament, wherever it might be, right at the top of the wish list is a memorable final. That's exactly what we've got on our hands at the moment.
Foul shot, ball in hand.
Well,
Start
we
the clock,
both
please.
said the same thing at the same time. No words, just... oh.
Yeah, what can I say? Is it not supposed to happen for David?
So far, at least, you have to say, objectively, the balance of the run has been with this man.
Now he's taking a lot of time to set up the required angle on the 1. Makes a big difference. Half an inch to the left or right. I'd like to get a little further away from the long rail. Looks like he's wanting to contact the 4 ball. That's good. We could see from that camera angle that there is a line towards the side pocket, but I'd really, you know, with the pressure out there, I'd really like to let my stroke loose. Playing larger areas, larger zones than that.
Extension call.
On the other hand, the great Buddy Hall always said, if you have position, don't play it. Looks fine. Now, if he stays in the center of the table somewhat, it needs to go around from the 7 towards the 8. He could end up a bit far and a bit longer on the 8. But that bump on the 9 actually does help him. It means that wherever he lands from the 7 to the 8, from the 8 to the 9, he won't need to do a lot. Angle, no angle. It's all good. It's all good from here.
There was a little bit of shoulder in that one, but that's entirely understandable given what is at stake. Nothing is easy at this juncture of a mega match such as this.
One more, then he gets to break for the match.
It is there. Alexander Kazakis is within touching distance of being the Whirlpool Masters champion. On the hill, under the shadow of the rock. 8-5 up. David Alcaide broke. Unluckily scratched. Kazakis stepped in. He's 3 in front with a possible 4 racks to play. Alcaide has no more wiggle room, no more leeway. Can't afford any more mistakes. But don't discount him.
Don't discount him, no. No, and off and off. The game of 9-ball, the pool gods, how you may call it, will throw in a curveball. I would actually be surprised if Kazakis would now make a ball and get an easy out for the win.
Yes, something always seems to crop up to intensify the drama, enhance it. Our referee, Nigel Rees, the senior member of the officiating crew, getting the rack together. Is the 14th rack of this match going to be the last rack?
Rack 14. Alex Kazakis leads 8 racks to 5.
It's going to be his last break of this tournament. No. 3 balls down, even though he mishit to one somewhat. And this by no means a roadmap, not the shot on the 1, not the position of the 2. Well, he's eyeing up the cut to the side pocket, so that tells us that even if it were available to the corner, and it's not. So he's playing the only shot that he has. Going round, couple of rails. Without the kiss with the 6 ball, he would have tracked towards the 2.
Deja vu. Kazakis was in a self-imposed snooker, having potted the 1 via a bank in rack 11.
Extension called.
Again, he's snookered himself on that 2 ball. So near and yet so far.
Now from this angle, coming in 2 rails, he goes into the area both with the cue ball and the 2 ball, where the 5, 9 and 8 are. I see many good possible outcomes there. He can do it also from this side, but with speed. There's nothing there, no trees to hide behind.
Is this the twist we were talking about and preempting between racks?
Cue ball will track. Could track towards the pocket.
Extension called.
Would be my worry. Can it go past the 5 to the corner? A trace of spin, left or right. Could help, but it doesn't help for the pot. Bank it. Or cut it if it cuts.
Blue 2 thought about it.
No, it's good. No, he knew it before us, David Alcaide, that the cue ball was going to be slow. This bank a whole lot easier. More difficult, excuse me. But what he can do, he can attack the bank and make sure to hit it on the short side. Or go all out and bring the cue ball to the other side of the 8. Bam! 2 banks. Uh-oh. What was that? Oh, so much pressure now. This would be a horrible way to say goodbye to your campaign. Leave it hanging over the pocket.
You've got to commit to your alignment. Clinging on by his fingertips. That rack, well, the money isn't in the bank yet, but 2 banks were on the money. And then the final 9 ball.
But that tells us how big the pressure is out there. I mean, Alcaide, how he has been playing in this tournament and then not getting shape on the 9 off the 8 ball. Amazing. Matt Edwards, when are you going to do the haka out there? He succumbed to Kazakis today. And is enjoying the show. Don't know if Alcaide is enjoying it. Certainly an intense experience. Just 8-6. With the way the table's breaking, it isn't too big a deficit. But he needs a bit of good fortune.
He's had the uplifting Spanish tune between racks. Can he give himself another boost by adding this one?
Can he get enough speed
rack
in the
15.
1 ball?
David Alcaide to
On
break,
most
trailing
breaks,
6
the
racks
1
to
ball
8.
goes long, comes over the side pocket, tracks toward the short rail, and then bumps or does not bump out. It's the determining factor. Difficult push here. even difficult to tie two balls
Push out
up.
called.
Well, actually, there's a gap behind the 6. So I would certainly look if I could bank the 4 behind the 6 to tie up the 2 ball somewhat. Now, if I could do that and give him a view on the 1, I would like that. I love tying up the balls. Kazakis now to decide if he likes his odds. He's taken little time to decide. Effort. Very difficult to play that type of shot under this pressure. Hitting downward. Like back spinning the cue ball
Extension
without
called.
too much speed. Almost hit it good enough. Quite a bit of angle. It looks like he will play the 3 to the same pocket. Just float out. A heavy contact. That caused a bit of a thick hit on the 2. Maybe a bit of misalignment. Didn't win a prize with that execution, that's for sure.
That, though, was redemption. Recovery.
Yeah,
Retrieval.
Was clearly content with that shot. Understandably so. Now to mid-table. To the middle diamond on the short rail, then out to the long rail on the right. Angle on the 6 wouldn't be a problem. Had to push out. Kazakis called his bluff. Didn't get the snooker. Great pot on the 1. And then nicely poised clearance to close the gap.
Over each of these pots, the silence has been deafening. If and when the 9 goes in, the noise will be deafening. They are gearing up. It's a stubborn refusal to accept his fate. When he was 5-0 down, we worried whether this climax of the Whirlpool Masters was going to be an anticlimax. We need not have been concerned because David Alcaide is one extraordinary fighter. 8-7 the scoreline. What a final. Still to be determined.
He rack 16. David Alcaide to break. Trailing 7 racks to 8.
What a finish in store to this David World Pool Masters. Are we going to see Hill? Are we going to see a deciding rack? It's all down to that man. Can he pull level?
Oh, this is it, Phil. I was looking at the 1 ball. I missed seeing that 9 ball track so fast towards the side pocket, but that 1 ball with enough speed to sit there wide open and available. It's all out there. No big problems to solve.
If this was just any old rack in any old round of any old tournament, you'd fancy him massively. We still do.
Yeah, I still do. A lot of room to get on the 2. And the same type of shot, but he needs an angle. Now on the 5, on the other half of the table. So much room to work with. Doesn't mean he should take it for granted. We've seen many shots missed due to indecision. So just checking again what the best spot would be to land on. Oh. Oh. It's still on. It's still on. Speed was good. The tip position not. He hit that ball too low. Got it.
Extension called.
And then I think the nicest shot would be to sort of pinch it with left spin. Check the cue ball. For a shot on the 6 to the side pocket on the right. That's good. That's a good shot. Needs to go to the short rail. Little bit of draw. I think off of the long rail, so the 2 rails. That's a nice line there. Amazing fight back this.
The backhand is shaking. We saw that right there. He's feeling it, but he's holding up nevertheless.
What a fight back this has been. I knew he could always do it, but I must confess I was losing faith. The way this match was progressing.
We have a new favourite. It is David Alcaide because he's back 8 racks each, and of course it's winner breaks. What other song could it be? Viva España! But will it be Viva España? The hopes of a nation resting on Alcaide's shoulders.
Oh, what a nightmare. This is what it has come down to, the 1 break decider. So close and yet so far.
In 2017, the pool gods bestowed a gift on David Alcaide. They allowed him to win the decider against Jason Shaw in the final right here. Will it be a double gift? Can he come through again by the narrowest possible margin in truly thrilling circumstances?
I think they were singing 9 ball, 9 ball. 9 on the break, how would that be? Whew. May the best man win. One rack for the marbles, they say. Not all the marbles, there's a second prize.
Thank you. Final rack, David Alcaide to break.
Will he get back to the table? Check the 1 ball. One ball's good. Speedy. Looking at the 3 ball, Alcaide tells us, I think that 1 ball is available. Most people in the bleachers are looking at the big screen to see if it goes or not. It's on. 7 shots for the title.
The pressure now is simply crushing. It's a recent tournament. They put heart monitors on the players. I reckon right now, if you put it on David Alcaide, he would break it.
Don't rule out Kazakis, because the highest heart rates were those of the players in the chair. But they'll both be at 150 plus for sure. Oh! 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 Does he see the 5?
Caught that so badly. Gets the fluke off the green 6, but no position.
Extension called.
Very stoic. Immediately back to business. Oh man, what a fluke and what a turn. Cue ball. And a heart rate monitor for the commentators.
Spanish eyes could be crying.
He's still not out.
Extension called.
Admittedly, awkward queuing over the 9. Alex, you're quite right.
Yeah, but the 5 is far enough away from the rail. Won't be super difficult to hold that cue ball. Can even use the 8 to run into. Oh, you hit it thin. But still. David Alcaide. What a fight back he's made. With the promised land in sight. Didn't give himself a shot on the 5.
The cue arm is tight. The action on the cue ball was not what was desired or required.
It's a pretty steep cut. pocket, got into the side pocket.
So many balls spotted, so many racks played over the last 3 days. It all boils down to this.
I feel sorry for the guys, but I'm loving it, Phil.
He couldn't keep still. The movement in that shot was ridiculous. Look at this.
He made a nice bank before. Can he make it again? All out safety. Now, Alcaide will attack the straight back, of course. We can still play it with a defensive element.
Settle down, please.
But I don't know if he has that quality at this moment in his arm. Wants to give himself the best chance of making it for the title. For the title! What a break! He does it again! Amazing shot, amazing finish, Mel.
I'll tell you what, if you wrote that script, it would never, ever be accepted because it was too far-fetched. He's on the table, he's the master of the table, he is the whirlpool master, and this crowd are going crazy. What a finish! We can't believe it. Just thrilling stuff. Sport at its finest.
And this looks like a flashback from last December, Phil. At the Mosconi Cup, where he lost his match against Shane Van Boney. It's not granted. He had it in his hands, but he couldn't take it.
The first prize is $25,000 US. David Alcaide feeling like $1 million, but still having time to be a gentleman, to be a sportsman, and to console his defeated opponent, Alexander Kazakis. We thought Greece was going to be the word here in Spain, in Gibraltar, but the Spaniard has prevailed. Jib has put on a great show for us. And what a finish we have seen. And there's the man he beat in the first round, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. With just a short walk from the Spanish border. And the man from the next door neighbour country has come across that border and claimed the spoils in simply remarkable fashion. You've seen a lot, Alex, over the years. That's got to be one of the best matches you've ever witnessed.
Well, not the best, but exciting. Oh, it went back and forth so many times, and I really feel sorry. But hey, this is sports, and he really came with it. Woo, this went back and forth so many times. Listen to them singing. It's special. David Alcaide is special here in Gibraltar. Did it on 2 occasions, on both occasions on the hill. Phenomenal stuff. A theater of dreams for him, Tercentenario Hall.
It's Viva España here in the Victoria Stadium, Gibraltar. 3 days of high class and high drama. There have been some great matches, but nothing anywhere near as good as that. What an incredible final. It's time now for the presentation. I'm joined by Emily Fraser of Matchroom Multisport. We've also got Tomomi Saito of Komui. Now, Tomomi will be handing out the trophy to the new champion in a moment, but first, please welcome our runner-up, Alexander Kazakis. Alexander, you really deserve that round of applause and that cheer. But How tough is that to take?
I don't know. I didn't win, so. But you know, David, I was lucky the whole match. You know, I didn't play that good. I win some games because of the good rolls and stuff. And David, he really fought hard. From 5-0 down, he was, you know, trying to run out everything, and he really deserved it, you know. But I had my chance, and I dug it away.
Is it any consolation that that final was so good it will be replayed over and over again, and you were, well, a major part of it?
I don't want to see that final again. I don't know.
But overall, you must the way you've performed at this tournament. When the disappointment wears off, you'll be very proud of yourself.
Yeah, I play really good the other 3 matches, except the first one. I don't know what else to say, really. I'm really disappointed right now, but I hope next time I'm gonna win.
Well, just one more then, just the US Open. Let's look ahead to that. You're in great form going into it.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the US Open. It's gonna be the biggest tournament ever, so it will be nice if I go again to the final and this time win it.
Big round of applause for Alexander Kazakis. And now it's time for our winner, the World Pool Master 2019, for the second time, David Alcaide. David, congratulations. The emotion that you showed at the end, just describe what was going through your whole body, not just your mind.
This is unbelievable. I don't know where I have this power for play to the final. Sure is for all fans, and more important for my daughter Daniela. Every time think we see every ball thinking this ball is for you. I no lose. I play to win.
And when you did, be honest, did you think you were getting back up there in that final rack?
I don't think anything. I only think, please, Alex, give me one more chance. I trying to make every game, but 9 ball is terrible. I don't like Alex lose in heel, and this I don't like Alex play. Really good tournament, really good year. Congratulations, Alex. Okay, this time I win.
And you are playing incredibly well. This is perfect to go into the US Open.
Please, now I want to celebrate this tournament. Next month, I focus in US Open.
I think you deserve a bit of time to celebrate. Tell you what, before you get your hands on that trophy, how about one last word for your fans?
First, I like to say thank you very much, Matchroom Sport, for giving me the spot for play the tournament. Thank you for everything, referee. Later, of course, thank you my fan, every fan. This show is unbelievable. And thank you for my family. Give me a lot of power.
You're about to get an even bigger round of applause because, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the World Pool Masters 2019, David Alcaide, presented by Tomomi Saito. Absolutely great entertainment here at Victoria Stadium in Gibraltar. An incredible tournament and an incredible final. The 2019 World Pool Master is David Alcaide. We'll see you at the US Open.